G'day guys, my name's Travis. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Tour Radar. And what Tour Radar is, very quickly, we are an online marketplace where people like yourself could come onto the site and you could book amazing travel experiences to pretty much everywhere in the world. We have a fantastic platform that basically encourages people to do one of the best things in the world, which is to travel. So my story is a little bit different to the other guys. It's actually starting 12 years ago, and it's a long road, but I've had a lot of experiences which actually for the first time I've never told this story to a group before, so I've only told it to individual people, so it'll be interesting to see how it all comes out today. But the story actually starts in London. I moved to London when I was about 25, and on a working holiday visa. My background is that I'm a mechanical engineer, and I had a very good paying job in London. I earned a lot of money, I went travelling. Pretty much every weekend I was travelling to Europe, and it was great to a point. And it was kind of a moment where in Australia I'd worked in some corporate environments as well, and I think it just really hit me that working for the man or working in that corporate environment wasn't going to be a long-term strategy for me. So what I thought was that, okay, I need to do something for myself and actually be the kind of the guider and the driver in this story. So and the other thing is, as Jose just implied, was that, I'll be honest, I wanted to be rich. I actually thought, I want to earn a lot of money. I want to have enough money that I can travel the world, I can take my friends with me, I can do whatever I want when I want. It was a very materialistic way of thinking, and it actually set me on my way to what I wanted to do. And so around that time, this is back in 2003, we're talking, I started an online travel company, very much what is like Facebook and Instagram today. The site is called Bug Bitten, so to be bitten by the travel bug, it's one of the expressions in English, and it became the default platform for all the Australians and all the New Zealanders to share their photos with their family back home. And it was awesome. Like my brother and I, we co-founded it and one other guy, and we were on top of the world. We were getting tens of thousands of people a day back then, logging onto the site, uploading pictures. And we thought, we're onto something big here. And I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire in like a year or two, for sure. 12 years later, and I'm not yet. You really have these expectations of like, I can do this. But in hindsight, when I look at that, I go, it was a very materialistic way of thinking, but it at least got me on the way and actually got me to actually start my journey and dream to kind of do my own thing. So, the next part of the story is the third co-founder that we had. They always say pick your co-founders very wisely. He was a good mate, not anymore. He just didn't work out. Like the work ethics, you've got to really choose the people that you actually have in your team, that they're aligned in the same way that you are. And that was a really hard experience to go through. It was financially expensive, it was emotionally expensive, and what that makes you do is you kind of get introverted. And you don't want to share the experience or share the journey with anyone else. So my brother and I actually became quite insulated in our idea. We were going to do it, and we were going to do it all on our own. No one else can help us. And it was different back then also, the investment landscape, so with investors and startups. Back in 2004, 2005, there wasn't the same kind of scene, the same kind of money that was available, that is available today. So we bootstrapped our idea, which means that we pretty much paid for it all ourselves, and we didn't get money from outside, and we ate into our savings that we had. And that was really a difficult time because you're basically running on your own cash, and you're like, okay, as Bernard was saying, there's a certain time period that you can last without actually then having to think, okay, what am I going to do next? And that kind of was at the same time I was traveling. I went to the running at the Bulls in Pamplona. I didn't run, but I was on a road trip through Spain. And we stopped in Barcelona for an evening, or 2 evenings. And I just so happened to be in a bar and saw a very nice looking girl at the bar and introduced myself. And 7, 8 years later, now I'm married to her. She's Austrian. We have a 2-year-old baby. And that was something that was a total surprise to me. Like, it was just like I walked into this bar and literally met the girl of my dreams. And when I went back to London after I met her, we did the back and forth here and there. I was still working my job, as Bernard said, is don't just drop your job and think you're going to do a startup and be able to survive. You can't do that. You've got to do it on the side. So in the evenings or on the weekends. And eventually my boss was very, very understanding, and I said, look, I've met this girl of my dreams, my startup's going well, I'm just basically bailing and I'm going to move to Vienna. And he's just like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, really? She goes, do you know anyone there? I was like, no. He goes, do you speak German? I was like, no. It's like, yep, okay, go for it then, good luck with that. So I headed over to Vienna, and that was where I really hit literally a bit like the crossroads of what you're doing, and we bootstrapped again and again, and until we kind of realised that, okay, we need to open up a little bit, we need to actually get outside help, whether it be investors or people, and so at that same time, like we pretty much, very much ran out of money and had nothing else to live on, and I was consulting for some companies, and I consulted for there's a startup here in Austria called TripWolf. It's a mobile travel guide, and I was in their office, and it was a startup environment with lots of other startups. And in that, you network. You have lunch, you eat in the same area, you have drinks after work, and I got to know people like the CEO of Speed Invest and i5 Invest and a few other startup companies, and basically the network started to grow. And that was where, okay, and I started to share the ideas, and then they're like, well, maybe we could invest into that. And so that kind of started the fundraising process then of going, okay, how can we raise some money to basically continue doing what we wanted to do? And we closed the round of funding, a very small amount, and we thought we were killing it because we got some money on board. We were going to keep going and going to kick this off, and then it came to a point where we were coming to the end of the money again and realised that we hadn't worked out the business model. Like, we literally tried, like back in the days of Bug Pittman, tried every business model under the sun, and you literally were banging your head against the wall, but it was every single failure basically led you to try another thing. So you'd fail, go, okay, that didn't work, scrap it, let's move on to the next thing. And you just kept moving forward, and that pretty much happened until this point where we were literally out of money. And I went to the investors that we had and said, guys, we need some more. Are you going to pitch up? And pretty much none of them were willing to put in another cent to the company. So it was either, end the dream, or basically dig in and work a way out. And it just so happened I went to a conference called the Adventure Travel World Summit about a month later, and there was a keynote speaker there. And he was talking about the travel industry and how there was no one like Expedia or Booking.com who had done what basically someone should do for the tour industry. And so I went up to him afterwards and had a chat and said, look, I've got a pretty good idea, we're onto something here. And he's like, yeah, cool, I don't really have much time now, here's my email address. We started chatting back and forth. Long story, he flew to London from San Francisco for a day, for another meeting. I flew over there, met him, and at the end of it, pretty much he basically said, I haven't changed my mind, I'm in. And he was the founder of Expedia, so he had the credibility and the authority that basically as soon as I had him buying into my idea, I could then get other people involved, and that's where I then went on to get Speed Invest and a number of other of the bigger Austrian angel investors here in Vienna, that they also came on board, and that was really when I kind of realized that you need money to make money. So back from my days of bootstrapping and thinking I can do it all myself, you need people around you to help you achieve the things you want to achieve. And that's what I was able to do when we raised some more funds, was I started to build a team, and then I started feeling this kind of team environment and where you have a great people with you, all on the same goal, heading towards the same place. And it really was an amazing time, because around the same time, that was when my daughter was born, and it was towards the end of 2012. As many of you in the room probably don't have kids, but as they do say, it really is a life-changing experience. And these two things combined were a bit of a double whammy for me, because I started to realize, hey, maybe all this stuff isn't just about money. There are other things about this world, and that's where, and we started getting more success in the company. We started being recognized by industry partners, our suppliers, all that kind of stuff. And it really was, I guess, a massive turning point in where the story kind of went. And today, this is the type of thing that we're doing for people. We're sending people to these amazing places, meeting amazing people, making friendships that they literally will have for a lifetime. And that really, that means something. So you really go from focusing on, okay, very materialistic views, okay, I want to make a lot of money, and you go through a lot of, as Bernard was saying, there's a lot of roller coasters. There's a lot of awesome times, there's a lot of really crap times, where you really hit rock bottom. But if you have the entrepreneurial spirit, and if you have the drive, and the will and the belief actually that what you're doing has something that will add value in the future to either the people around you, the society as a whole, whatever it is, if you have something that will do that, then success basically will come out of that. All right, so what I thought I'd do today is also be in line with everyone else and read out a quote. This is quite a poignant one, because I saw it this afternoon, and it's Richard Branson says, if you aren't making a difference in other people's lives, you shouldn't be in business. It's that simple.